Welcome to our Docs on Tap video. The purpose of this video is to give you a bit of an overview of how the application operates and to run you through the two components that make up this app. Firstly, there is the desktop application, which enables you to control how you set up the information that's been displayed within an iPad, set up things like the folder structures, the users, their permissions, and add and remove documents as you need to. The second component is the app itself, and I'll run through each of those separately within this video. So we'll start firstly with the actual desktop application. When you log on to Docs on Tap on the desktop, this is the input screen that you're presented with, which enables you to do all the sorts of things that you're required, where you can add in folders, add in users, you can maintain the folder structures, you can maintain the documents that are being added into the system, and you can also maintain the attachments as well as the individual users. The folder structure that is set up here is just constructed using the add folder area here, and the tree structure is basically recursive. You can set up any number of levels that you want within the application. You can see here we can just collapse this up and we can get a snapshot of what we've done so far. So if I look at my sample folder 2, for example, I can see I've got corporate policies. As I click on the folder, the documents that are associated to it are displayed here within this middle frame. If I just go back to my board papers, for example, and I look at my agenda, the one agenda document, you can see out here on the right we just get a snapshot so we can actually see what that is. We can also see the attachments that are associated to that agenda item. So in this case I've already loaded up 3 attachments. If I want to add in a new document to within the application, let's say I want to put in a new policy document, for example. So if I click on my corporate policies folder, I can see that I've got a policy document in there. If I want to add another policy document into the application, I just go to my Windows browser. I've just got a list of documents here that I want to see. I've got policy number 2, that's the one I want to add in. So I just simply left click on it, drag and drop it over into the documents section, let it go, and then Docs on Tap will convert it into a PDF format and enable us then to synchronize it. A couple of things here. You'll notice that this in sync button is not ticked. That's ticked by the system once we've synchronized it, and we just synchronize the data by clicking up here in the top left, and that will then push the information that we've added into the application up onto the secure hosted server. In terms of setting up, before I do that, I'm just going to run through setting up users just to give you an idea of how that works. The users are just maintained within the users area, so if I want to add a new user in, I'll say let's set up Jill Smith, for example. I'll put her in. I can put in Jill at casala.com.au, that's her email address. The system automatically generates a key and I can save that for her. You'll notice that again she's not synchronized yet, nor is the folders. She hasn't been assigned to any of the folders. So if I compare it to Joe, you can see that Joe's been assigned to all the folders. That's a new one we added in. So to make him have access to that, I just tick on it and it'll save it. Ditto for Jill. If I just come along and tick all of those things, I can say these are the ones I want her to see. She's not interested in old stuff, so we'll leave that alone. To push that up to the web, up to the hosted server, I just click synchronize, and you'll see down the bottom that it's synchronizing the new documents that I've added in, and it's also just runs through telling you what it's done. You'll notice now that Jill's been indicated as synced, and if I go back to our documents, we can see, if I just move on and move off that, come back to it, we can see that that's now been synchronized. So we know that everything's been pushed up to the hosted server. So in terms of managing your documents, managing your users, managing your folder structure, that's all done through here at the desktop application end. So we'll leave that a bit for now and we'll go off and have a look and see how the app works.